I have a couple bigger projects I'm going to be working on soon for SF4, but it's been a little while since I've uploaded, so I thought I'd do something quick and simple. Omega Adon. Adon has very few changes from his Ultra version, and most of them are pretty straightforward to explain. The vast majority of his normals are identical to their AE 2012 versions. Links you'd expect are all there. Crouch Light Kick is now only +3 on hit for some reason. You can still link out of it, but it no longer links into itself. Close Medium Punch previously had extremely long recovery, but extremely long hit stun and block stun, which would allow it to combo into Jaguar Kick on cancel. Now it resolves much more quickly, and those cancels don't work anymore. Overhead is only +2 on a crouching opponent, but +4 on a standing opponent. You've got enough time to react to standing and convert from it. Obviously, if it works, it's probably because the opponent was crouching, so the conversion won't be there most of the time. This is actually how Cody's overhead works too, I think. Adon has two new normals I can see. The first is Close Hard Kick, which is a 5-frame heavy with damage and conversions very similar to Close Hard Punch. The improved speed makes it much more reliable than Hard Punch ever was. It's fast enough that you can theoretically link into it, and probably works after a close medium in some matchups. But against Ryu, you can only link it after one light normal. Your old Close Hard Kick still exists, by the way. It's been moved to down towards medium kick. It whiffs on crouchers, and has long recovery, so it's not good on the ground, but it is a reliable anti-air. Adon's other new normal is towards Heavy Punch. I don't know what to make of this one at all. It's a heavy you can link out of, but Adon already has that with Close Heavy Punch, which is stronger. You cannot cancel out of it. And in juggles, it's an air reset. It does have a juggle potential of 1. But Adon gets more damage out of a juggle to Rising Jaguar, which also has JP1. The upward angle seems like it'd be good for anti-airs, but it has no invincibility and a tall hurtbox, so it trades or loses. That's pretty much it for his normals. Adon's special moves aren't too different either. For example, I couldn't find any meaningful differences to his Jaguar Tooth at all. The most significant difference I see for ground Jaguar Kick is the motion is now quarter circle forward kick. This adds some input overlap with DP, when DP motions are tighter to perform in Omega, but it's not a big deal. Generally, this move works just like Ultra. It still armor breaks, and it's still barely minus against normal height characters. It's safe against anyone without an SPD or Raging Demon. Damage has been lowered for the light and medium versions. Notably, Adon actually has frame advantage on hit now, when he was minus on hit in Ultra. EX Jaguar Kick is a bit faster, and it's still an overhead. It's now only -1 on block, so safe from SPDs. You can still steer it, and it's still invincible to fireballs. Air Jaguar Kicks massively benefit from the new motion, which makes them incredibly easy to Tiger Knee. But unfortunately, they're worse besides that. They still crush lows and throws, and you can still easily combo out of them on hit. But now they're outright punishable on block, -5 at best, and the opponent can still distinguish them from ground Jaguar Kicks because Adon doesn't say Jaguar Kick when he does them. Obviously, they're still extremely good, since they give you things like Throw Crush or Reaction Jump In punishes to the opponent's Fireball, but now they carry some risk too. In Ultra, the heavy air Jaguar Kick had the most movement, while the light had the least, but now they've been swapped so they better resemble their ground version trajectories. The EX version is safe on block, still crushes throws and lows, and still leads to full combos. The range is much lower than the meterless version, but despite that, it's probably Adon's single strongest tool. As you would guess, meterless Rising Jaguar no longer FADCs on block. Besides that, Rising Jaguar feels the same as Ultra, but there's a few really quiet changes. For example, medium Rising Jaguar normally does 140 damage, but the JP1 version of it only does 100. Which means it's now stronger to juggle into light Rising Jaguar. Also, the JP1 version has a much smaller launch, which you can easily see here between the two launches. Which, again, doesn't happen with light DP. though it's not like Adon could do much with the resultant JP2 state. Rising Jaguar is still Adon's main combo ender, but if you're anywhere other than point blank, you'll get the second hit of the light version only, which is not very strong. Because of that, it's often good to forgo a cancel and just link right into Rising Jaguar, which does more damage and gives you the potential for extensions with an FADC. Of course, in the corner you can still juggle from one hit of Rising Jaguar, which makes it a more attractive route. Light Rising Jaguar's second hit still won't hit crouching opponents, so be wary of that. Adon has two new moves, and they're both really cool. Quarter Circle Forward Punch is Jaguar Bite. All three meterless versions do the same damage. The heavier versions are very slightly slower, but have slightly more forward movement. So in cancels, light will always work, but you want to do the strongest version your canceling normal will allow. The range is deceptively long, a bit farther than the visuals suggest. On block, all meterless versions are -3. So barely punishable if your opponent has a 3-frame and hits the reversal timing. On hit, all versions are +5, which allows a link to Rising Jaguar. Or to many of your normals. The EX version is unsafe on block, but on hit it creates a JP1 launch. Just juggling into Rising Jaguar is your main ender here. Since it's JP1, you won't have FADC Ultra. Frustratingly, you can FADC the EX version itself, but no timing of Ultra seems to work. It does work in the corner. As a rule, going into the special does some pretty beefy damage. It's his optimal combo right after things like Focus or Air Jaguar Kick. No version has juggle potential, including EX. All versions cancel the super, and it combos properly. Adon's other new move is a hit grab. Half circle back punch is Jaguar Bite. It's blockable and extremely unsafe on block. There's only one version. It has JP1, so you can juggle into it. It's Adon's strongest juggle after an uppercut FADC. Though it's generally too slow to combo after his other launchers. It is fast enough to cancel into from lights. If you mash punches, it does a different ender that does a bit more damage, though the knockdown state is worse. The appeal of the unmashed version is that it actually has a super cancel window. If you cancel the super, mid-screen it falls out. While in the corner, you lose a bunch of hits. However, you can also FADC it. If a Jaguar Bite hits a grounded opponent and you FADC, it's a JP1 state, and you can juggle Uppercut, an Ultra 2, or even another Jaguar Bite. But curiously, if Jaguar Bite hits an airborne opponent, it actually creates a free juggle state, and you can juggle anything. This is easiest to see in a focus crumple, where the opponent is grounded for the first half, but airborne for the second half. It's almost unheard of to have something like this where you can lower your own juggle count mid-juggle. It gives Adon some really unusual 4-bar routes. Before I forget, there is an EX version of Jaguar Bite. It has better startup, better range, and an impressive 200 damage. However, there's no FADC or anything. The faster startup allows it to work after EX Jaguar Claw. This seems to be Adon's strongest 2-bar route. Adon Super no longer has varied follow-ups. As usual for Omega, it got a huge damage increase. It won't work after his DP or Jaguar Bite, so your main way of landing it is after Jaguar Claw, which is not especially powerful. Amusingly, it does work after light DP's second hit, even mid-screen. Adon's Ultra 1 does 30 more damage, and is still horribly weak in juggles, while Ultra 2 seems to be unchanged. Generally speaking, Ultra 2 is much easier to confirm, while Ultra 1 might be picked just for its punishing power against fireballs or attacks that recover far away. Adon's instant air Jaguar kicks were extremely powerful in Ultra, and even though they're much easier to do in this version, having them be more unsafe on block is very detrimental for the character. Same for losing Shore UF ADC on block. However, just about everything else is much better for Omega Adon. In particular, his new heavy and new special moves give him much more damage off the same openings. It's probably a lateral shift overall for him.